Why is why is it that Miss Cebu remains the queen of all pageant in the South and is the most likely pageant that most pageant enthusiasts would really watch out for?
So thank you so much for that question. As we all know, Miss Cebu is a celebration of empowered women. And as you can see, the 12 beautiful ladies here, we have our dreams and our visions. And I have noticed that we are not fighting here for the crown, but we are fighting here because it's for sisterhood, but also it's our passion and our dream to stand here in front of you. The reason why Miss Cebu is a prestigious pageant is because Miss Cebu is sticking to the course and values. I remember on the first day, they told us that this is not a competition, but we are sisters now. And we should always remember that and we should always have fun. And I also remember that during the activities that we have, they taught us knowledge that we can always bring with us in our everyday life. So I feel like this is the reason why Miss Cebu is a prestigious pageant. Thank you.
Thank you. And also question number two. Hi. Okay. I believe you have your own advocacy as well. Okay. How will your advocacy help if you will win Miss Cebu 2022?
Um, when I joined Miss Mandawi before, my advocacy was about the street children who were underprivileged or they didn't have the capacity to afford to go to school, have the essential needs like food and shelter. So, in order for me, if ever I win Miss Cebu, I will still push through with that kind of advocacy because coming from a family myself, which is separated, my both mom and dad, the income or the financial status is really hard. That um, I decided to spend for myself. I have a job, I'm currently working, and I'm spending for my education so that when I decide to go back to school, I can be able to provide. And with that advocacy, I'll be able to help the children. And to other children out there in the streets, it's time to give them hope. Doesn't mean they are financially unable, doesn't mean they have dreams to accomplish in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. So do we have any more questions from our friends in the media?
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Mark from the Freeman newspaper in Finance News. Actually, my question is for the organizer. Because I'm interested. First and foremost, congratulations and welcome back. Support after 6 years. It's very interesting. And speaking of which, this is also a very interesting mix. So I'm curious, this is for the organizers. From 77, how did you come up with the top 12? What mattered in the end? And my second question is, how different will Miss Sabo be next year, considering that we are in a pandemic? What is different or what is something new that we'll witness next year? Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not one of the candidates. Anyway, we had a hard time.
Yes.
Actually, and we can imagine several candidates and just screen them for 2 weekends. And we saw to it what their advocacies were. They were all mga kuan with articulate. Aside from reading pretty. So, what was your question?
What mattered in the
What
end
mattered in the end
to
was
make
that,
the final cut?
yeah, it was the advocacy.
Because it was mentioned by acting Vice Mayor kanina na it should be the girl must be smart first before beauty.
Yeah, exactly. So, they're all beautiful already, given a nutshell. But it was their, what's between their eyes, what's between.
Okay, thank you. So it's the advocacy. And my second question is, how different will Miss Cebu be next year?
Okay, thank you for that beautiful question.
Candidate number 13.
Yeah, what's this time we have to adapt to the present reality with the COVID-19, and then what we're going to do is most of our activities will be outdoors, And then we want also people to see through our candidates the different sites and places here in the city. As mentioned earlier by Philip, we have so many areas and places to see in the Highlands through our Highland Blooms and Eco Tourism Program. And we have already launched another aspect of our heritage through the American Heritage Tour and hopefully with our Japanese Heritage Tour, as well as the what we have already been doing for the past years, the Kabilin, yeah, the Spanish Heritage Tour, and also the we added the pilgrimage tours. So Philip had already mentioned the barangays involved in the privilege tour, pilgrimage tour, and then of course we're gonna launch early January and in time for the Miss Cebu 2022 the urban and coastal tourism. Wherein one of the activities is the sunset cruise, and then also hopefully we will be also be able to showcase the bird watching in the city. So there are so many exciting things and activities to witness here in the city, and then through Miss Cebu, we will be able to showcase all of them. Thank you.
But our coronation night will still be indoor.
Outdoors.
Outdoor.
Yes.
Really?
So watch out.
Okay. Coming up, yes.
It's going to be a hybrid pageant. So portions of it will be retail, and then we will end up in billboard. So exciting. And then also by the year end, hopefully, the National Museum will be done already. So that's an added attraction too.
Okay. Now, can I have my third question, final question? Because Sir Philip mentioned that what sealed the deal was the advocacy. So, quickly, to all the 12 candidates, can you brief us or tell us briefly your advocacy? Thank you.
So hello, I am Bianca Williamson. I'm candidate number one, and my advocacy is height discrimination in pageantry. As you can tell, I am candidate number one, so I am the shortest among the batch. But I want to prove to you that my height is not my definition of weakness, especially here in Miss Cebu 2022. Thank you.
Hello again, I'm Christine. So as I mentioned earlier, my advocacy was more on street children. And it's more of like I want to create a program wherein we bring opportunities to the kids. So we'll create a coaster for the kids where we can provide medical needs, educational needs. And at the same time, I want to sideline that I'm a singer-songwriter, and in order for me to help promote tourism, I want to create a song, which I already did, but it's still a work in progress, and create a music video featuring the beautiful sides of Cebu, especially to those that are still to be announced and to be rediscovered.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm candidate number three and my name is Carla Marie Francis Mira. So my advocacy is actually education for the underprivileged youth. Since I am a student right now, suffering from online classes, and I'm actually quite lucky and grateful since I have a stable internet connection. I have gadgets, but others do not. And I have met a lot of street children as well, similar to our advocacies, and it's very difficult for them to have access to education. And I believe that education is should be a right and not a privilege. So that's why I advocate for education for the underprivileged youth. Thank you.
Hello again. So one quote that I actually hold very dearly to my heart is, if you can be anything, be kind. And I think that the value of kindness is highlighted in the advocacies that I have that I mentioned earlier, which is animal welfare, environmental conservation, and mental health awareness. Because I think that with my advocacies, we're not only encouraged to be kind to one another, but also to be kind to animals. And given that we're facing a very heavy problem with climate change and global warming, also to the environment. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Pearl. I am a public servant. I am actually a lady enforcer, and my advocacy is road safety. Simply because I want to help preserve the value of the human lives through road safety. As I quote, I remember telling our tourist bus drivers yesterday that you are the ones who will give the first impression to our tourist visitors in Cebu City. So I want you to show them that Cebu is a road safe city. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm candidate number 6. I'm Christine Marie Batumalake Abrion. My advocacy is architecture, conservation, and social consciousness. I'm an architecture graduate and a freelance digital artist. And I see it very important that the youth today and the people see the importance of the iconic architectures in the city and to see the value of our history because that is what Cebu is all about. The arts and the crafts and all the talents that we have. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheena. My advocacy is youth empowerment through education. For years, I've been living with street children around our area, and they even became my best friends. I see their will and compassion to learn. However, they do not have the financial support. That is why one day I want to be their voice, and I also want to support them financially. And lastly, I want to remind them to never give up because everything will be worth it in the end. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Shaira Jean Monsanto, and I'm a registered nurse. In line with that, my advocacy is health education and health information dissemination, which I believe is really timely and relevant right now. Most especially that we're experiencing a really sad time with the pandemic. I believe that the organization can help me with my advocacy. I would hope to leave a mark in the hearts of the Cebuanos that education is very important, most especially health education and vaccination. So that is it. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, so I am Gabby Carvalho. I am candidate number 9. But to explain my advocacy, for the past 3 years, I've been someone who I founded my own project in 2018 called the Green Wave, and now it's retitled to the Green Wave Cebu because I do plan whether or not I win the crown with people that I meet through this. I do want to expand my project further than Mandawi where it did start. And so, but I also thought, as a beauty queen, we can have our own advocacies, but what's very important to me is that you're aware of what's going on in the world and you assess where you can provide something. And so for me, because we are going through a pandemic right now, I wanted to also focus as a medical student on personal hygiene because a lot of the conditions that are passing around, not only coronavirus, but also some gastrointestinal conditions, they're so rampant in the communities when all you can do to prevent that, one thing, hand wash. Yesterday was Global Hand Washing Day, and so the Green Wave is launching a new project, actually to be launched today when I get home. I will make my graphics and all that for that, but it's called Sabon Subuanon. So I'll be working with hotels around the city, and we'll be recycling soap and having classes with children all over Cebu. So that is my advocacy. Thank you.
Hello everyone and good afternoon. I'm Trixie Ong and I am your candidate number 10. The tourism industry has been hardly hit by this pandemic and a lot of livelihoods, a lot of businesses has been destroyed and a lot of people lost their jobs including myself. That is why I am focusing myself on the tourism, on the rebuilding of our tourism because I want to be able to do that our tourism will be sustainable and resilient in the future. Through through tourism digitalization, we'll be able to reach not just domestic travelers but also international travelers. And also, I want to educate people the importance and also the advantages of getting vaccinated so that we'll be able to move forward, restore, and reactivate our tourism industry. Thank you.
Hi, I'm back again. I'm Rian Emmanuel Carmona, 20 years old, and I'm your candidate from 11. My advocacy is simply
I want to raise awareness to mental health education because during the pandemic, it made us vulnerable. It challenges us in different ways that we didn't imagine. So I want to be that person who inspires other youth and millennials. Um, During the pandemic, I actually lived independently, supporting my own. I am a dance sister in University of Cebu, and I'm also working as a call center agent as a part-time job. And life was very, very hard, but here I am because I was able to reach out, and that is what I want to give to everyone, and I want everyone to be a good listener and able to help others. If you're being able to listen to them, that would be a great help, and that is my advocacy. Thank you.
Hello, mayang hapon sa kaninyong tanan. I am Lorraine Han, candidate number 12. Now, my advocacy is something that I hold very close to my heart because it is one common thing that I share with my parents, which is empowering the youth through education and service. I grew up with two socially involved parents who have a passion for serving the people of Cebu, and that is actually, in fact, the reason why I joined pageants. It is my advocacy that is my driving motivation. And with that, I was able to serve the people of Consolacion and Mandaue. And hopefully I can do the same to Cebu. And what I did differently this year is that I made an advocacy that can be applied during the pandemic. Because when you think about youth education, it requires hands-on and interaction. But my plan for my advocacy is that I want to donate a Wi-Fi box to the different barangay gyms in Cebu so that people can have access to education because education is not always formal. It can also be informal through simply reading the news, through being socially aware of what's happening around you. And through this, I hope that I can be able to serve the people of Cebu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's actually just the tip of the iceberg of these ladies. I think they deserve another big round of applause. So, do we have questions from our friends from the media? Vanessa. Vanessa Balbuena from the Freeman.
Hi, my hapon. My first question is for our organizer. Sorry. um, in our years of covering Miss Cebu, you know, if you don't mind, you would hear in the sidelines that usually the committee would prefer winners who are fresh faces. Um, and as our AVP showed before, most of the winners are, first-time beauty queens, and at times not the traditional winner that other pageants would usually crown. So, seeing that we have tight list in our lineup, I wonder if you have the same preference here in 2020, 2021.
I'm candidate number 13. So actually, we didn't took notice of the different sensibilities of title holder or not. What we saw was the advocacy. What is important is she be able to relate her advocacy and how she could be of help or become an effective ambassador of goodwill for me. That is most important.
Thank you, Sir Philip. To the candidates this time, forgot my question. Okay. Young 20s, 12 candidates. I wonder if any of you have seen Miss Cebu live before, and if yes, what are your best memories and your favorite winners? That's all. Thank you.
May bias. Many of our girls have seen Miss Cebu before. Live. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sherry Janine Monsanto, candidate number 8. I don't think when Miss Cebu started, because I had an aunt who was one of the candidates back then. student, but my parents watch and my aunties watch, and they would always rave about how beautiful the production was. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm joining this year is because I want to experience that. Like, wow, what's it like to be Miss Cebu, or part of the Miss Cebu, or hopefully the Miss Cebu. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other candidates who have seen it live? Not live. Actually, I wasn't able to watch it live, but I joined a pageant in my barangay before. I was like 17 or 16 that time, and 17 or 18. 17 because I joined Miss Mandawi. I was 17 that time. So I had a judge. Her name was Miss Rain. Yeah. She was a winner of Miss Cebu, and I got the chance to talk with her personally. And her advocacy or her main goal was fitness advocacy. And we got one talk, and she told me that you should join Miss Cebu soon because you have the qualities and you're fit as well. And I was like, pageants? I don't think so. But she did not give up. We actually communicating through social media, and because of her, I am here now. Thank you.
So I did not watch the coronation night. I watched the pre-pageant, so I hope that counts. And the girl to me that stood out that night is also the same with her, is Rain Balzac. Probably that was the latest crown in Cebu. And I really admire her honestly because the way she answers, the way how genuine she is. She's not just beautiful, but she's so much more than that. And to be honest, her batch was sort of competitive, just like mine. And Rain Bajak is really somebody that I look up to. We were classmates a year ago, and I asked her what it's like to be Miss Cebu, and she shared how amazing it is, how it helped her in her professional career and in life in general. And I do hope that I get to experience that as well. And that is why I hope that through this pageant, I can be able to experience more and get to know the ladies, get to know the organization, and be of help to Cebu City. Thank you.
Thank you so much, candidates. One thing I'm sure is that this will be an experience of a lifetime. Kaya dagan you came of my experience, and I'm still very grateful for Miss Cebu. Mga few years ago lang na siya na-happen. Okay, candidate number two.
So I know two previous contestants of Miss Cebu. I don't know if you guys still remember Rosemary Gore, and I also know Rain Baljak. Rain Baljak used to live in Danao, and I've heard a lot of good feedback about her, how queenly like she is, and I can't help it that when I joined pageants as well, people would tell me, Christine, try Miss Cebu. And I said, okay, if it's for me, it's for me. And for Ate Rosemary Gore, she's a family friend of ours. And every time I looked at her picture before or watched her on stage, it felt like I want to be like Ate Rosemary and try to make my family proud as well. And also her, since she's close to the family. So that's it.
Candidate number 9.
So I guess we stopped answering if we watched it live, but my favorite Miss Cebu would have to be my aunt. So she was Miss Cebu Tourism 1991, I believe. She actually lives with me in the house right now, so I'm so happy that I have somebody to ask for advice from. But the reason why I look up to her is not only is she related to me and my aunt, but she's really a woman of substance. You have no idea, when I was in high school and she used to visit us here, she used to pick me up from school and take me on a tour all over Cebu, even if I had a lot of homework to do. So I can just say that the pride that she grew for Cebu during that time definitely resonates with her still to this day. So that's why I look up to her.
Who's your aunt?
Golda Siniza, or Golda Dunya.
Hello everyone, so I'm Trixie Ong, your candidate number 10. And I started joining pageants when I was 10 years old. And I always hear about the Miss Cebu pageant. That is why I am here now to fulfill that dream of mine of joining Miss Cebu. And my favorite Miss Cebu candidate would be Miss Rizini Gomez, the late Miss Rizini Gomez. And a lot of people are telling me before that I look like her. That is also why that I am joining this pageant. And I started to join big pageants because of her. She is really an inspiration of mine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have other candidates who wants to answer the question? Okay. Thank you so much, candidates. Do we have questions? Yes, Elaine. Hi, Elaine.
Hello. Hello, my name is Elaine from Z Lifestyle, and first I would like to congratulate everyone for making it to the top 12. And to the organizers, congratulations for bringing back Miss Cebu 2022. We all know, okay, from the history and from the rationale that Mr. Philip Rodriguez has talked about, that Miss Cebu has been a machinery to create and boost the economy of Cebu City, from tourism to our crafts, artworks, and to our crafts. Okay, but now it's not just only the tourism industry that Misibu is promoting; it's also promoting the urban and our businesses here. As you can see, we have skyscrapers everywhere. Uh, but before, and it was before the pandemic that Cebu actually aimed to be the next Hong Kong. And that's why we have gathered a lot of investors coming to Cebu with our infrastructures. However, during the pandemic, 20% of these real estate businesses have gone down. Okay. Now that we are moving forward, and as Miss Cebu, not just as Miss Cebu winners, okay, as Miss Cebu, you are the ambassadors of Cebu City. How can you bring back the 20% decrease of our real estate businesses, okay? Yes.
Elaine, I just wanted to clarify for the girls, how can you
How can they promote
promote?
yes, our urban living, our real estate businesses, so that it will go back? Because we lost 20% of our economy in Cebu during the pandemic.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Yes, I'm candidate number 8, Shaira. As mentioned earlier, I'm an advocate for health education and health information dissemination. And one of the topics that I really want to put out there is the importance of vaccination. If we if we vaccinate majority of the Cebuanos, our foreign friends will be able to come back and continue on with the investment and with the rising of the skyscrapers and everything else, also tourism, because we would like to promote a safe and healthy environment. So if all the Cebuanos are vaccinated, they will be at ease when they come visit Cebu. Not just a business, not just as a business venture, but as a human being. If you're scared because you might get COVID here in Cebu, no. If we're all vaccinated, it's going to be a safe environment. Thank you.
Yes, candidate number 10.
Hello, everyone. So I am a former flight attendant, and because of this pandemic, I lost my job and I lost my wings. That is also my first job and dream job. So that is why I want to be. I am now working as an online English trainer, and in my little way, I am helping promoting our tourism here in Cebu. We have this free talk sessions with my students, and I always tell them about the Cebu city and what we can offer to our tourists. So I think that I believe that it is my in my little way, I could really help promote our tourism industry. And of course, we need to be able to educate people to follow the safety protocols of the IATF and our government so that we'll be able to move forward from this pandemic. Thank you.
I think in able to really promote the real estate or like the urban in Cebu City, we need to like start restoring the travel confidence first. And I will do that by creating a platform on social media where most of the people are actually engaging. And I'm actually thinking of a name now, but I can't say it yet. And through the project, my first post would be very educational, where it helps the foreigners. It encourages them that Cebu City is safe to travel. And I think that's the first step to promote a specific project. We need to restore the travel confidence first. Thank you.
Yes. We have candidate number 3, and next will be candidate number 4.
So hello everyone, once again I am candidate number 3. My name is Carla Marie Francis Mira. And I believe aside from vaccination, another way to promote and boost Cebu once again is to actually select leaders since upcoming elections is like next year. So it is good for us to, of course, evaluate better leaders and who can be able to give out more projects and promote the city and be able to give out like vaccination, especially in very minor communities. Since what I notice is a lot of people who are vaccinated are mostly the upper class or the middle class, and not really on the on the lower class, because a lot of them have misinformation, especially that vaccines are supposedly magnetic or something like that. So I believe it is important for us to select those leaders as well, so they can be able to reach areas that we can't reach as well. Thank you.
Yes, next we have candidate number 4.
Hello, I hope you're not tired of hearing from me. But, well, aside from vaccination, I am also a medical professional and fully vaccinated, which I'm happy to know that this goes for many of us here. Well, I think that as a medical professional and as a Miss Cebu, it would be nice if we collaborate with different businesses, just like what we're doing now, in giving ideas and helping them implement and put out proper healthcare protocols so that the people who would like to visit their businesses would feel safer and would love to come back again. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. I am Gabby, and so with this very, very nice and timely question, aside from, of course, dealing with all of the health protocols, on how we can protect the environment, because as much as our hotels do take they do what they can. You know, you go in the hotel room and they say if you don't want your towel to be washed, then just leave it on the rack, and then if you want it to be washed, you leave it on the floor or things like that. So our hotels do take that role. However, if you still look outside on the streets, you still see garbage all over the place. And so, of course, I don't think we can expect a first world we can't expect a first world response from a place that is still developing. However, we still can do much better. And with this, our investors will look at these things and say, okay, if I invest here, this is a sustainable place to invest. If I choose to put my money in this city, it's something that can last for a very long time. And I don't think they want to invest in things that harm the environment because their own companies or their own organizations can be affected later on because of taking part in something that harms the environment. So bottom line is really just for Cebu to become an even more environmentally sustainable city in order for investors to look at it and say, that's where I want to leave my money for years to come.
So hello once again. I am Bianca Williamson and I'm candidate number 1. For me, my opinion is that we have to bring back the tourism. I feel like when the pandemic started, tourism has been going downhill, as we all realize. And if we also notice that when the tourism is downhill, tourists is not going to come here because they are unsafe. As what Shara and the other candidates said, it is important that we have to have vaccination to make sure that the tourists and the business people would be safe when they come here to the Philippines. Because at the end of the day, if they are safe in a particular area, then for sure they will be coming back again and again because Cebu is a very beautiful place. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate number 1. And I think candidate number 7 wants to share as well. Hello, everyone. I'm Sheena, candidate number 7. In order to get the 20% back, first is to get fully vaccinated. Since my advocacy is education, I want to inform and educate everyone to get the vaccine. I am aware that there are people who are hesitant to take it because they're afraid of the side effects. That's why I want to educate everyone on the aftercare and the expected side effects. So in that case, we can achieve herd immunity and to lessen the spread of the virus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Candidate number 7. We have candidate number 5. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Pearl again. So before we talk about tourism as a whole or the holistic, I want to share a quote that says, you cannot explore a new world while using an old map. And that's the quote that I'm living in right now, so that it's easier for me to accept what's happening right now. Joining with Cebu, I want to make this an avenue for me to go out from my zone of comfort and certainty. This is my way of overruling that comfort with greater purpose. And to help boost the economy, I want to talk what's within. I want to remind people that going back to normal is a shared responsibility. We cannot expect the government to do more for us if we keep asking what we cannot give. So before we ask it to be back again, we can go back to normal. Maybe it's about time to ask asking ourselves if what we can do. You know, I am an education. I am the in charge for the education section of a government office, and I love roaming around. But the thing is that every time that road safety is a shared responsibility. Everything that we do, everything that affects our living is also a shared responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you so much, candidate number five. I know she's kind of a bit losing her voice, but let me tell you, these girls are still very much. Do still have time for more questions. Yes, we have Miss Honey Loop from Daily Tribune.
My question is for former Miss Cebu, Chris Hansen. Ladies.
Okay, I already since the start of their screening. Candidate number 14, Chris Hansen, 20 years old. Wow. Okay, so enjoy has made me into the woman that I am now. I'm really, really grateful. And I honestly cannot imagine myself without Miss Cebu as well. So when you do join Miss Cebu, just being a finalist, you are already Cebu itself. So I have been telling you that you do not only go on a stage to represent Cebu, but you really are Cebu from now on. So I really do hope that you put that in your hearts as well. Thank you so much. Yes, we also have a question from. Oh, okay. So it was answered already, but we still do have Vanessa from the Freeman.
Yeah, this is a phone-in question. It's not mine. This is from our online editor, Jobbers Oka. Leadership and okay, this is the question for any of the ladies. Leadership and a clear plan are crucial in our recovery from COVID-19. What is your message to those running in the 2022 elections in Cebu? Should I repeat? Or that's good. Okay.
Hello everyone, once again I'm candidate number three and my name is Carla Marie Francis Mira. So my advice is not actually for the leaders, also for the people as well, since it's important to us to really vote wisely, since a lot of people sometimes forget that the people have the power to choose who sits in position. So what we have to do as citizens of the Philippines and Cebu is we have to do our research. We have to look into what they can bring for Cebu and for the country, what they can do for the betterment. And my advice for the leaders would also be to create projects that can benefit us as a whole, especially during this pandemic, and to get more people to be vaccinated and to reach other areas where social media is inaccessible. So it is better for us to do that. Thank you.
Hello again, good afternoon. So for me, for the leaders, I really think that number one, if you're going to lead, you have to, of course, acknowledge that you're in a position of influence. And you have a choice there. You use that position of influence for your own benefit or for the people that you are serving. I will outwardly acknowledge my own privilege because I live in a house that is very comfortable with my family. But I know that there are not people, there are people that don't have that same opportunity. And And so if someone is taking a role in leadership, I think it's very important for them to know that if they choose to be an upright and just leader, there are a lot of comforts that they themselves have to give up out of their own lives in order to make themselves on the same footing as the people that they serve. And so that is really just my advice for them to see that they do have to be 100% selfless in every move that they make, below not just their title, but below even just who they think they are as a human being. See yourself on the same level as the people that you serve.
Thank you so much, candidate number 9. That will be the final question for the Q&A. Daghang salamat kaninyong tanan. Thank you very much, everyone. Of course, our friends from the media who are here with us. Again, we'd like to thank Miss Honeyloo from Daily Tribune, Ramon Taguchi from The Freeman, and Vanessa Balbuena from The Freeman, Ryan Mark Borinaga, and Preciosa Bacalso from Banat, Jevin Montero from Sunstar, Elaine Fonte from Z, Andy Patenya Matthew from MyTV. We have Fritz Alcaraz, Gian Anshano. A big thank you to Cebu City PIO, headed by Ms. Razel Quizon. Lei Lumarate, Myong. We'd like to thank Myong Pelimon. Myong Pelimon, Gigi Filosofo from Y101 and Chasigo. And now to give her message of thanks, please welcome the Chair of Cebu City Tourism Commission, Attorney Jocelyn Pesquera.
Acting Vice Mayor Don Hontiveros, fellow commissioners, friends, members from the media, ladies and gentlemen, may hapon atong tanan. For years, we have been yearning that we will be able to revive Miss Cebu. So many plans and proposals submitted, so many obstacles came our way, and the biggest challenge is COVID-19. Despite all adversities, we stood back, we focused, and believed that we will be able to hurdle all challenges. And here we are, presenting to you the candidates of Miss Cebu 2022, The River. Pakpakan na to sila.